So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another album review of The Shield on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today we're going to talk about the brand new album by a band called Black Honey, and it's called A Fistful of Peaches. And for those of you that don't know the band, because I just realized I didn't know the band last week when I got a music suggestion streaming on Spotify and I decided to check them out. So Black Honey is a British four-piece indie rock band formed in Brighton, England in 2014. They have a few albums before this, and the best way that I can describe their sound is a retro indie rock sound. Think of I thought of bands like Blondie and like other bands like mixed together, because it's indie rock, but there's like some dance to it, like in the music, and I really enjoyed it. This came out back in March, but I didn't hear it until a week ago, and I've been listening to this album non-stop. I'm telling you, sometimes I think when you go with the flow and listen to something that you haven't heard before, you might find something that you really love. And in this case, this is what I got with Black Honey. I love the band, I love the vibes, I love the mood of the songs, and also I think the lyrics are good, and I think the lead singer is really great. So the lead singer is Izzy Phillips, and I really think her vocals stand out a lot in this album. So I'm not gonna talk about all the tracks. It's 12 tracks, 40 minutes in length. So I'm just gonna mention the tracks that I thought to me were the standouts. So there's like 5 tracks or 6 tracks that I really love, but I can say like I'm feeling like Señorita Sabrosura when we do a review with them. Like I loved every song. Like there's no filler tracks here. I think every song is good, but I don't want to talk about every song. But the album starts with Charlie Bronson, and I'm pretty sure that's a reference to Charles Bronson, who was an action star from the 80s. He had those Death Wish movies where they killed all his family and then he killed everyone. And Charlie Bronson is like a very upbeat track, like great fuzzy guitars on it, and really upbeat. I don't know what the song is about, but it's a great way to start the album. And they had this was one of the lead singles, as I read, so it makes sense because it's a really rocking number. Then another single that they released that is one of my favorite tracks in the album is called is Heavy is the track. Choruses are very catchy, earwormy, and it's all about, the lead singer is talking about like being in her room but not being able to go out because it feels so heavy. So it's like being in your bedroom and probably longing for someone or something and not wanting to deal with that shit. So I thought they did it in a really catchy way with that track. So that track is really great. Another track that is way more in the middle of the album is called Cut the Cord. And essentially the lyrics for this one I really love. It's all about cutting a relationship with someone, but you can't seem to do it. And in some parts in the lyrics, it says that they try to cut the cord, but they can't. They always go back to each other. So it's that type of track of that person that knows you so well, because there's a part in the song that he says God, you know me so well. There's no one that knows me like you, so that's why they can't cut the cord, because it seems like they can be toxic sometimes to each other, but it's really a person that really knows the other person and they complement each other. So it's a really great track, and musically it's great as well. It has some very Blondie-esque type of vibe to it. Some of the tracks also reminded me of a little bit of The Killers. And this one had a little bit of that, and it's a great track. But another song that I think is my favorite from the album is called Okay. And at first I thought it was funny because I say okay a lot in my real life, but the song is basically about someone that you had a relationship in, or you recently broke up, or someone that you're not seeing in a long time, and you're thinking in your head, I wonder if they're okay. I just really want that person to be okay. And I think that's pretty relatable for anyone. Anyone can relate with still thinking about someone, and even though you're not together, you want the person to be, okay, like the track said. And it has a other part that goes like na 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 na, I just want you to be okay. And I think the choruses on this album are fantastic. Like, they have those type of choruses that you sing along to them, and like they stay in your head, and they're like, I just could, like, after I heard this song, it got stuck in my head, and I just kept repeating that part of the, like, I just want you to be okay, and the na na na. It's just so good. And when a band can do that, I think that's when you got a great track and album, because it's just great. Then more at the end, you have a song called Weirdos, and it's all about like, oh, we are those weirdos, and that's a more like fast-paced track, a little bit more punky, but not like supreme punk, but like very indie rockish vibes again. But I liked it because it's all about like, we are the weirdos, and we're the weird people, so it's really entertaining. And then they end on a song called Bummer. And Bummer, there's a part when they're singing the chorus with the bummer that I don't know why it sounded to me a little bit like Rihanna, Bitch Better Have My Money, just for a bit. But it's a great track, great closing track. Again, the choruses are great on this one, and the guitar work, really something that they do really great is the guitars, like with the choruses, like blend so well together. Like they made like a formula, like the guitar and the chorus almost go hand in hand, and on the catchiness and how they complement each other. So in conclusion, A Fistful of Peaches by Black Honey is a great album that I'm so glad that I took the chance and listened to it. An album that has great songs that could all be singles. The music is great. The vocals are also very top notch, and I think the choruses are the best part of these songs. Just great songs that I'm sure that if you like indie rock, you will love this. So do not sleep on Black Honey. So have you listened to this album? What are your favorite tracks? Comment. I would really want to know. And if you like the videos that I'm putting out, do not forget to give me a like. And do not forget to subscribe. I have more content on the way. So until next time, this is Hector, the Shield on a Couch, and I'll see you right here on the couch. Thank you, and good night.